All right, I'm gonna have you introduce yourself.
Okay. Oh yeah. I'm Marissa. I am a junior at Gustavus. I was diagnosed with ADHD when I was in either first or second grade. My teacher noticed that I was having a hard time paying attention and that I was off task a lot of the time, and so she recommended my parents to go get me assessed. And then that was before, I guess a lot of people didn't know about ADHD inattentive because my parents were like, she's so quiet. There's no way that she has ADHD because you associate that with kids like bouncing around and stuff. But then I got assessed and they put me on Adderall, and I was on Adderall for a few years, and then I switched to Concerta, and then I switched to Stratera, and then I switched to another one that I was only on for a little bit. But I had a hard time with medication because it makes you not want to eat, and so I would just not eat, and I was small already, so I was like really small, and so it caused all sorts of health problems with that, so I ended up stopping.
When did you stop taking medication?
I stopped taking medication around 8th grade, probably.
Okay.
It was because they switched me to a medication that didn't have the stimulant side effects, and so I had found out that after I didn't have the side effects, it felt like it didn't work because I had just associated the feeling of being really like on edge and not feeling well with, like, that's what being focused felt like. And so as soon as I didn't have that feeling, it's like I wasn't focusing.
Gotcha. Okay, so going along with that, how do you think you see your ADHD manifest in your day-to-day life? What is most prevalent about it?
I have a hard time focusing on tasks or in like long lectures. It's hard for me to stay focused and to not let my mind wander. And then my brain moves a lot faster than the rest of me can keep up with. So like even when I'm talking, like especially in a casual setting, sometimes I have all these thoughts in my head and it's hard for me to express them, and then I stumble over my words. And then when I'm like talking to people, it's hard for them to follow my train of thought because I'm always going 6 different places, and like I'll have this thought and I've gone on this whole process to get there, and then I say the thought and they're like, what? Like with absolutely no context. Like it happens a lot when I'm trying to organize things for SEA. Like I'll have an idea in the middle of class and I'll be like, Sam, like we gotta do this. And she's like, what are you talking about? And I have to like back up and be like, this is how I got there, and then it makes sense. And also I tend to fidget a lot.
Okay, and what have teachers done to help you in the past, or like what do you think teachers could do? Like that really made a difference.
Yeah. Well, I stopped when I got diagnosed. My parents decided not to get me an IEP because they didn't want me to take advantage of it. And like I know that's a misconception that kids take advantage of their IEPs, and like some kids do need them, but I was someone who would have taken advantage of it. Like if I was given extra time on things, I just wouldn't turn it in, or if there were no penalties for late assignments, I would just turn in all of my assignments late because I had no motivation. Because one of the things I've struggled with is motivation with getting things done that I don't want to do, and so if I have any reason to be able to not do it, then I just won't do it. So I need those things like penalties on late assignments to be like, okay, I need to like get it together.
Okay. What do you think your greatest strengths are with like accommodating your ADHD, or what do you think your greatest weaknesses are because of it?
My biggest weakness is like not only getting started, but then finishing what I start. Like things that I'm not really excited about, readings I don't want to do. I'll be reading and I'll like, even just to start reading is so hard because I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna start at 7:30, and then it'll be 7:32, and I'm like, guess I have to start at 7:40, and I'll sit on my phone or I'll find every excuse not to do it. And then sometimes I'll start something and I won't finish it, like especially with non-school related things. Like I have just a whole closet of crafts that are started and never finished. And then I do what my mom calls the 90% curse, where I'll get 90% of the way done with something and I just won't want to do it. I just won't finish it. So like if I'm cleaning my room, it'll be spotless, and there's one corner that's like a disaster, and I'll be like, I'm done. And then my greatest strength is I am able to focus really well on things that I really care about, and I'll like really put myself into it, and I'll give 150%. And even when I'm not focused, I'm good. I've gotten good at like just pushing through, and like even if it takes me forever and ever and I have to keep stopping, I just keep trucking along.
Okay. So what do you think you would want future teachers to know, or like wish your teachers had known about you or about ADHD, or advice that you could give them?
I think so. I was in the gifted program for a little bit, and because of my ADHD, I was like, it was like every year it was like, is she going to be in the gifted program? Because depending on who is assessing, you know, if it was by test scores, I would 100% be in because I did really well on standardized tests. But, you know, depending on whether or not I liked the subject or my mood even, like I would perform poorly. And so some teachers saw it as she's in trying, she doesn't care, and that's not what it was. I was just struggling. And so I think you have to, like, ADHD can manifest itself in a way that it feels like you don't care, or that you're not intelligent. And I think as a teacher you have to like push past that boundary, and I wish some of my teachers would have like dug a little bit deeper to like see more, since I wasn't showing what needed to be shown, I guess.
All right, thank you very much.